Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's eChapter meeting. I am so glad to be here with you all today. The Napw eChapter is indeed networking at its best, and for a busy professional woman on the go, it provides access to your network from wherever you are. In fact, as you know, I've joined the eChapter from all sorts of places. Just recently, I hosted from Dallas, Texas at our Power Networking event. I've also joined from the back of a car, from an airport lounge, from my New York City, Long Island, and our Chicago offices. I've even managed to get my networking on during spring break from Disney World with my Minnie Mouse ears and all, and from a boat in the middle of the Caribbean and the Mediterranean Seas. I even joined the eChapter meeting from my sick bed with no makeup and a runny nose. You know, nothing can stop me from keeping my network strong. So you may be wondering, where in the world is Star Networking from this week? Well, today, in case you get interrupted, I'm talking to you from the airport boarding area of O'Hare Airport, okay? Yes, I'm in O'Hare right now. I'm about to fly to Norfolk, Virginia to begin a whirlwind 7 days of last-minute campaigning for Secretary Hillary Rodham Clinton. Most of you already know that I'm a surrogate for her campaign, and I've been working with Secretary Clinton and her team for the past year to help her get elected our 45th President of the United States. But recognizing that I represent all Napw members with our varying views and political leanings, I don't do any overt campaigning during our exclusive Napw events, such as our eChapter. That said, I'm sure you all will agree that this presidential election is the most critical of most of our lifetime. And I encourage all Napw women to vote as if your life depended on it. The issues that impact on women and families are really crucial. Equal pay for equal work, women's health, support for small businesses. All that matters, especially to professional women. So you make sure you vote and let your voice be heard. Now, let's talk eChapter before my flight takes off. Our eChapter just keeps growing and growing. Can you believe that we now have more than 20,000 members? That is pretty amazing. I'm absolutely thrilled to witness the explosive growth of this exciting initiative, and I thank each and every one of you for making our biweekly virtual meetings engaging, heartfelt, and inspiring. Many of you have probably heard the saying, great leaders are born, not made. Well, while I do believe that certain traits of a great leader can be inherited, learning how to be an effective leader is really within everyone's grasp and more achievable than you might think. You don't have to move mountains to become a great leader. The leadership journey starts from within. Every single achievement you make, every single skill you acquire, and every single life change brings you one step closer to becoming a better leader. It's all about being your best self and empowering others to do the same. There you go. We've put together a panel of Napw VIP members who are all experts in their field. They're going to share about their own experiences and challenges and offer personal leadership development tips and advice. Before we get to the panel discussion, we'll hear from 3 fabulous VIP members in our VIP Member Spotlight segment. These women really do boast successful careers in a variety of industries. They each have a unique story to tell, and I can't wait to hear them. Thank goodness I have my headphones so that I can hear over the loudspeaker. But finally, please be sure to participate in the polls that will appear throughout the meeting. This interactive aspect of the eChapter meeting really gives us some great insight to our attendees and your thoughts on some very important topics. They also help set the agenda for future eChapter meetings. Now, you guys know you ladies know, I usually come on at the end with my own tips. But today, because my flight is leaving, I'm going to share my tips at the beginning after Louise gives us the lay of the land and outlines the rest of our meeting. So now, without further ado and further interruption, it's my pleasure to introduce Napw National Director of Chapters, Louise Newsom, who is also the president of our New York City chapter. She and her team spearhead our eChapter, and she will facilitate today's meeting. Louise, take it away.
Thank you, Star. We'll see you shortly. And welcome, everyone, to our live eChapter session. If you're a returning member, joining us for the first time today. We are hosting our eChapters now through a brand new Adobe Connect platform, which enables us to expand your experiencing when attending these events. We'll be hosting reruns bi-weekly after each of our live events, so please come back if you wish to listen again and network with attendees from around the country. as the networking portion is always live. The reruns also give me a chance to be in the chat room and witness what is happening there and do a little live networking myself. This enables more of our members in different time zones to be part of each topic and still be networking if it's live or a rerun. It's been so exciting to see women exchanging ideas, email addresses to connect post-events, and even setting up in-person coffee meetings. You will see at the bottom left of your screen a box that explains how to create a private chat room with any attendee you wish to speak with off the group chat during the event, as it can be difficult to keep up with one or several people you've been connected with as the chat moves so quickly. We encourage you to carve out the time, either the first or third Wednesday each month, and keep coming back to our eChapter events because of its ease and ability to network from your office while on the road and even from the comfort of your own home. Keep a lookout for the email invites and promotions on social media. Also, all events are posted with registration links on the napw.com eChapter group page. We also have in attendance today some additional corporate moderators to assist you or just chat with you along the way. They are Samantha Facorni, local chapter manager, who will do her best to offer technical support if needed. Dana Angel, graphic designer and digital media manager, will be live posting throughout the event on NAPW's Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter, encouraging you in the chat room to share our posts on your social media. And Katie Maloney, Director of Membership Acquisition, to assist you with any questions you have about your membership. You will also see several times during the event a poll pop up on the screen. Please take a minute to answer the questions as we'll share the results during the panel discussion. The agenda for our event today is that we'll be showcasing 3 VIP member business spotlights who have 3 minutes each to share their expertise before we invite our panelists on to discuss our topic for today, the leadership journey, discover the leader within you. So, for our first spotlight today, I'd like to introduce Natalie Meyer, who is the Vice President of Meyer Group Licensed Insurance Agents, certified by the National Association of Health Underwriters for corporate wellness with 8 years of experience in both public health and employee benefits. Meyer Group is a healthcare consulting firm that specializes in all forms of employee benefits and insurance services. One of the divisions for the Meyer Group that Napw heads up is the Identity Theft Protection Program, Freedom ID. Identity Theft Protection Services was launched over 4 years ago, which collectively offers identity theft protection to over 17 million households. Natalie is active in her community as a member of a few local chambers of commerce, as well as serves on a local business leadership forum. She was born and raised in St. Louis area and then moved out to Seattle to attend college, where she received her Bachelor in Business and Marketing from Seattle University. Good day, Natalie. Come and join us on screen, and you can go right ahead.
All right. Can everyone hear? Is everything okay?
Yes, go ahead, Natalie.
All right, perfect. Well, good morning, and thank you for your time. I want to start by asking you all a question. Have you ever thought, I don't need to have any type of identity theft protection because any fraudulent charges on my credit card are covered by my credit card company? Or how about, what if if your information was used to open a whole new credit card that you didn't even know about, that's the time when you may want to consider setting up some type of a coverage. Also, what about your medical insurance? Ever thought about what if someone had used your insurance information to have a procedure or fill prescriptions in your name? These are the types of crimes that are happening every day, and these are some of the situations I deal with firsthand with the work I do. For over 35 years, my family has been in the insurance brokerage and benefits consulting world. Over 8 years ago, I became involved with family business full-time and started developing new types of benefits being offered for the new world today, such as wellness and identity theft. Identity theft quickly became one of the biggest parts of my job and something I spend a huge part of my day with. In speaking to a group of professional women, I felt this was very important to speak about because women are actually at a 26% greater risk than men of becoming victims of identity theft. Some of the reasons they say is women use social media more. We also change our name when we get married. Mother's info is most often given at the doctor's office or at the schools, so our information is everywhere. Speaking of children, according to the Identity Theft Resource Center, a child's chance of their identity being used fraudulently by the time they turn 18 is actually 100% these days. Children are the biggest risks for identity theft, and often it goes unknown. So when we developed our coverage, we did two things. We made sure that all the family was covered at no additional cost, and that resolution services were the cornerstone of our coverage, to help people spend less time resolving their issues. We did this with partnership with IDT 911, which helps to handle fraudulent services for over 17 million households across the country. And as I mentioned, since children are the biggest risk for identity theft, it's no extra charge to add them to your coverage. So in my job, I work with individuals, companies, and brokers to help offer this type of coverage at affordable rates. Through the NAPW, actually, though, we will be doing an offer where you can get 15% off all coverage, all levels of it, every month that it's charged, just by going to the website www.freedomiddirect.com. And when you check out, you can use NAPW as a promo code to save. And then if you're a broker or a company looking to offer this as a benefit, give me a call or send me an email. So thank you so much for your time, and it's a pleasure to be a part of this great group of women. So thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you, Natalie. Well, go over to the chat room and continue to network and share what you're offering today to the members. So for our next spotlight today, I'd like to introduce Katina Stiff, who is the Director of Rescue House South Texas, a safe home for women of human trafficking. A survivor of modern-day slavery herself, she has used her experience in her 18 years in ministry to help women around the world. Katina is a motivational speaker, survivor, advocate for modern-day slavery, spiritual advisor, and just launched True Identity Ministries this year. Katina has 3 wonderful daughters and a handsome husband of 20 years. Good afternoon, Katina. Come online, and you can go ahead with your spotlight. Katina, you there?
I am here. Can everyone hear and see me?
There you go. Yes, there you are. Go right ahead.
Yes, thank you. Yes, human trafficking. I am the director of Rescue House of South Texas, where we are engaged in helping women rescued from human trafficking. Those of you that don't know what human trafficking is, it is an act of trade of humans for the purpose of sex. And what our home does is we are a safe home. And what we do, we bring in women from the ages of 18 years of age and older, and we partner with long-term care facilities across the different states to help women get back to their journey in life. While they're in our care, they have access to counselors, they have access to doctors, medications. A lot of the women that come into our care are stripped of their IDs and have no idea of even their identity, of just being here as men, women, or children in this life, of understanding just what their purpose here in this world is for. So we help guide them through. We have all kinds of different mentors that come on board with us and help them throughout their journey, wherever they go across the different states, which what brought me to True Identity Ministry. And with that, of me being a victim of human trafficking and being kidnapped at the age of 21, I realized I didn't even know who I was, just what my purpose of existing was. So, and through that and doing this ministry with so many different women and being in touch with so many different women, I realized that we've just lost touch of who we are, or not knowing just who we are. We get lost in our work and being moms, being wives, and just not living out our lives for ourselves. So, and part of this ministry and me going around and speaking, I'll talk to people about just what their final purpose in life is all about, and how to find that, how to get back to the roots of our true self. So with that in mind, so many times throughout the years, I've heard shame on me, where God says shame off me. And so I'm living a life where I'm able to come along, where I'm still trying to figure it out myself, and encourage other women as well of just who they are and what they have to offer. So come on board with me. You can email me at kbstiff@gmail.com or Facebook or LinkedIn.
Thank you, Katina. Please go over to the chat room and continue to share your story and the story of others to get the word out there so we can stop human trafficking and work towards it. God bless you for the work you do, just to quote a member in the chat room that said that. Anyway, last but not least, for our spotlights today, I'd like to welcome Sherry Kathleen Smith, owner of Go With Your Gut Girl, who practices a holistic approach to health and wellness. Sherry works with her clients to reach their health goals and to create a happy, healthy, balanced life. She received her training as a health coach from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition's Cutting Edge Health Coach Training Program. During her training, Sherry studied over 100 dietary theories, practical lifestyle management techniques, and innovative coaching methods with many of the world's top health and wellness experts. Her teachers include Dr. Andrew Weil, Director of the Arizona Center for Integrative Medicine, Dr. Deepak Chopra, leader in the field of mind-body medicine, and Janine Ross, bestseller author and expert on emotional eating, and many other leading researchers and nutrition authorities. She specializes in food allergies, food sensitivities, and healing the gut, which is our second brain. Welcome, Sherry. I look forward to hearing more from you.
Great, thank you very much. If we could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. This is a famous quote by Hippocrates. One you might be more familiar with is, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. One of my favorites that I made up is one man's food is another man's poison, and that truly was my case. In 2005, I was diagnosed with celiac sprue and was told by my gastroenterologist to go on a gluten-free diet. I thought, great, fantastic, don't eat gluten, so no wheat, no rye, no barley, except it's in everything. And as I was researching for hours on end, figuring out what I could and couldn't eat, finding out that it could be in gum, it could be in envelope glue, so I could no longer lick envelopes, not real concerned about that. But 2 years later, I became intolerant to dairy. A few years after that, I started reacting to all grains and starches. So I had to cut those out of my diet as well. This is truly when I discovered that food had to be my medicine. There was nothing that I could take that was going to heal my body. It wasn't something that I got overnight, and I wasn't going to heal overnight. So as I was conducting my research and learning how to heal myself, many others started asking me how I was doing it, how I was getting healthier, and if I could help them. And this led me to go back to school and begin my own business, and voila, Go With Your Gut Girl AZ was launched. I work with individuals that have been diagnosed with an autoimmune disease that have food allergies or food sensitivities, and those are two separate things. And also individuals that feel that they may be eating healthy, but they may not be eating right for their bodies. So focusing on the second brain, which is our gut, and healing it. So truly, if your gut is healthy, you will have more energy, a clear mind, you'll be emotionally healthy as well. It's not always just the food that we're eating. We also work on primary foods as well. So that's your self-care, your relationships, your career, your spirituality. I think we can all agree that even if you're eating healthy, that if you're not taking time, even 10 minutes a day to meditate or reflect, you're not taking any time to go for a walk or get outside, do a little bit of exercise. If you're in a toxic relationship or your career is not where you want it to be, that those all affect our well-being as well. So we work on those. In my program, I work with clients all over the country via Skype or telephone. All my contact information is on the screen and also will be in the chat box. I will see you over there to answer any questions and to get you started on reaching the optimal you. For all NAPW members, we're offering a 30-minute free consultation, and also there'll be a discount on the 6-month program. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the chat room.
Thank you, Sherry, and to all NAPW VIP member spotlights for taking the time to be on eChapter today. Sherry, remember to mute your phone. You can take yourself off camera. So now it's time to continue our program with our theme today, the leadership journey. As promised, our president, Star Jones, is going to kick off this section before she takes off. Star, you've had numerous leadership roles throughout your career. New York City homicide prosecutor, legal correspondent and commentator, producer and host of numerous television projects. What tips do you have to help us sharpen our leadership
Well, I can tell you, for me, I learned several quick tips. Consider these 4 tips to sharpen your leadership skills and think about ways to implement these strategies in your daily life. Number 1, talk less and listen more. In recent surveys from market research firm Gallup, about 50% of 7,200 adults say they, quote, left a job to get away from their manager. It's important that a leader, or as a leader, you provide an open environment where communication is welcomed and encouraged. Listen gently and genuinely to others on your team and let them know how they can come to you with any questions or concerns they may have. Number 2, know your team. Great leaders are committed, invested, and determined to make the right decisions for their business and their team. Get to know the people you lead and understand what their goals are. Brainstorm to create a shared vision so you can all achieve success together. It is one of the reasons that I always refer to Louise as my yin to her yang. We work so well together. We are a true team, and I feel that way about everyone at NAPW. Number 3, follow through on promises. A good leader admits mistakes and is strong enough to correct them. Business coach and NAPW member Jean Omler said it best at our recent eChapter event. Quote, always follow through with what you say you will do and own up to it when you don't. No excuses. I learned a long time ago that excuses are tools of the incompetent that build monuments to nothingness. Those who excel in them seldom excel in anything else. When maintaining professional relationships, be authentic, reliable, and consistent. You see, it will make all the difference. And finally, number 4, hone your skills. Research, learn, practice, repeat. Continue to grow your professional skill set. Take advantage of Star 12, our exclusive educational resource for NAPW members. Attend live, on-demand seminars and webinars to refine your existing professional skills and help you develop new ones. Ladies, here's to leading without limits. You got this. Go for it. So, my yin, take it away before they take me away. Have a good meeting, ladies.
Thank you, Star. Go get your flights and safe travels. So, it's now time to adjourn our panel and continue the discussion. So for our first panelist, I welcome Suzanne Stover, executive coach, consultant, and trainer, helping women create successful careers they love. Suzanne grew up in New England, went to Boston College, and started her career at a Big Four accounting firm. She enjoyed steady progression in a career lasting over 23 years at a large and startup companies in 3 different states, including KPMG, the Walt Disney Company, California Pizza Kitchen, Rosa Mexicano Restaurants, and the New York Racing Association, home of Belmont Stakes. She was at the vice president level for over 16 years and a chief financial officer for 10 years. As Suzanne progressed in her career, she noticed fewer and fewer women progressing with her. She attended the World Coach Institute and became a certified professional coach. She now combines the experience from her successful corporate career with her coaching to help women get their next promotions and create successful careers they love. Suzanne still enjoys work as a CFO and consults with companies on specific projects or helps small companies that may need a full-time CFO. Passionately partnering with small, successful people is her joy. Good afternoon, Suzanne. Wonderful to have you on our panel today. So for our next panelist, I'd like to welcome Roxanne Khan, who is the founder and CEO of Roxanne Khan Personal Stylist. Roxanne is a certified personal and fashion stylist who was born and raised in New York City, the fashion capital of America, where she discovered her passion for all things fashion. After earning her Bachelor's of Business Administration from Marymount University, Arlington, and attending the prestigious School of Style in Los Angeles, New York, she decided to pursue her lifelong passion and launched her firm, Roxanne Khan Personal Stylist, in the Washington, D.C. area. Roxanne's firm is built upon her desire to help women discover and define their personal brand through wardrobe style. Roxanne has worked alongside top celebrity and commercial advertising stylists, both on set and behind the scenes, and has been featured on CBS, DC, and will soon be featured in an upcoming stylist piece for the Washington, D.C. Post. Uplifting women by enhancing their personal style is extremely important to Roxanne, and this extends over to volunteering at local organizations such as Dress for Success, one of NAPW's foundation partners, and Barn, a non-profit centered on teaching victims of domestic violence key life skills. Roxanne also regularly speaks on fundamental styling topics such as dressing for your body type, defining your personal brand, looking your best for speaking engagements and media interviews, and more. Good day, Roxanne. Wonderful to have you here. And last but not least for our panel today, I welcome Kylie Alexis Russell, founder and CEO of Priceless One Management, LLC, an international professional model. As a Chicago native, Kylie attended Spelman College in 2008, earning her Bachelor's of Arts degree in psychology, with a concentration in management and organization. She relocated to Miami, where she currently resides. Kylie first pursued a professional modeling career, signing with Wilhelmina Models, Miami, and became a nationwide sensation, appearing in over 25 national commercials, TV shows, and in-store campaigns, traveling to South Africa for months at a time to shoot for major global campaigns. Kylie fuses her modeling with marketing by doing promotional modeling and management at various events for top international brands. Several years of experience in event productions has been beneficial in providing Kylie with the behind-the-scenes activity of the industry. After years of experience as a promotional model and being constantly asked for referrals, Kylie figured she could be very successful in providing event staff under her own brand. First, Priceless One Management LLC was founded in May 2015 as a full-service event staffing and management firm. Since then, Kylie has effectively staffed and managed events for HBO, Heineken, the Grammys, Nike, and so many more top companies in the industry. Kylie also puts a lot of focus on giving back to the community by conducting clothing and food drive fundraisers and assisting with the education of children in need. Her success has not gone unnoticed as she was named in South Florida's Top 40 Under 40 for 2016. Good afternoon, Kylie. Ladies, if you can all come on camera with me. I saw you coming on and you seem to all disappear. Here we go. Roxanne. Okay. Wonderful. Welcome, ladies. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so attendees today are looking to hear from you on how to focus on their personal leadership development. And as our NAPW expert panel, share with us the personal challenges you have faced and how using strong leadership skills and professional expertise you have managed to navigate through those times. So let's start off with a straightforward, upfront question, little tongue-in-cheek. How would you best describe the role of a leader? So we're going to start with Suzanne.
Sure. So I think there are several critical aspects to being a leader. First, a leader must establish and hold a vision for what the organization should be and where the organization is headed. Second, a leader needs to engage, inspire, and convince people of that vision and strategy to be able to get it. And there are various groups that they're responsible for, whether they be employees or customers or shareholders. Third, a leader must be able to analyze a great deal of information to develop and guide strategy and to make effective decisions. And finally, I think a leader must be able to execute the strategy and get the results.
Wonderful, Suzanne. Well, you know, I'm just going to go into the poll really quickly because it went up and everybody was busy with this. So the question was simple. Do you see yourself as a leader? And really, 95% of our attendees said yes. So interesting. We all feel that we have the potential to be leaders, better leaders, great leaders. So Roxanne, share with us some of your thoughts about this.
Yeah, absolutely. So I really feel that a leader is someone that's meant to inspire. They motivate, they uplift, they provide vision and really pave the way ahead. And I think kind of one of the greatest aspects of being a leader or being a strong leader is just allowing others to be great. Leaders are actively engaged, and as Star mentioned before, they listen. They don't seek to be the center of attention. Instead, they look to be the facilitator of conversation and draw out new ideas and really draw the best from others. I think, too, that leaders also, you know, they help other people realize their value, their worth, their personal brand, and moreover, they celebrate other successes.
Great tips, Roxanne. Spot on. Kylie, what would you have to add?
Okay, yes. I think a leader is definitely someone that's passionate about a cause that's greater than they are. They take initiative and are self-motivated to succeed by any means possible. A leader is definitely someone that's looking to better themselves as a leader and also better the people that they are leading. I think that's very important. And communication is involved in that as well. And most of all, a leader is somebody that needs to be strong, definitely mentally, but also physically and spiritually, because there will be days that people will really try to knock you down, and you have to know how to stay strong and stay focused on the goal at hand. And if you can tackle those obstacles and really learn from them, then you're on to be a great leader.
Well, Kylie, I'm going to stay with you and go over to another question. As leaders, we have different styles. What's your style, and what impact do you see your style having that leads and empowers the people that you work with?
So I am in my 20s, so I'm definitely a millennial CEO, and I'm definitely more on the laid-back side. I can call myself a cool boss, but I'm not only an employer but a friend as well. I employ a lot of my friends also for work, but I seek to know my staff on both a personal and a professional level, and not have that wall up that most have between employer and employee. I try to encourage them to have fun when they're working with me, and let them actually enjoy working with me and not feel like they're just going to another day of work. It definitely encourages them to do their job right when they feel like they're having a good time while they're on the job. We have team building exercises, and I try to invite them places. We go to dinners together. We go to conferences together. We're always looking for ways to, build our relationship up as a team. So as a leader, I try to make sure that everyone feels like a team, and feel very empowered to try to get together and be great as a whole, and not just as me as their boss. I want them to all feel like they're accomplishing something together.
Well, Kylie, I think I'd call you a charismatic leader. I think that would be the spot that you sit in. Roxanne?
Definitely.
So, Louise, my leadership style, I would have to say, I sum it up really into 3 words. Seek to understand. I cannot lead or influence if I don't understand pretty much what's going on at the heart of the matter. And as a personal stylist, leadership comes into play pretty much with everything that I do. When I work with women one-on-one, I can't inspire them or really build their confidence without really kind of drilling to detail, getting into the nitty-gritty, understanding what their challenges are, because it really is an intimate process. With that being said, though, I love motivating people. I love being a cheerleader, but I also remain objective and fair, and definitely course correct when necessary. I think as a leader, it's really important to strike that balance. You want to, again, bring the best out of people, but you also need to be able to pull back, be objective, look at the whole picture so that you can give the best advice. So my role in leadership style really, again, is to bring the best out of women, because I want them to be great. And the work that I do helps kind of empower them and allow them and give them the opportunity to really dig down and open up. Throughout kind of the personal style discovery process, it really helps confirm or even rebuild, in a lot of cases, their confidence. And it sounds kind of strange, as women, we seek permission to be great. And I want to help, women understand that they can be great. When they look good, they feel good, and then they can then be a leader to their, their network, their employees, their friends, their family.
So, Roxanne, motivational leadership, people-orientated, relationship-orientated.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Suzanne.
Yeah. So my personal leadership style is really to act in accordance with my values, which means I act with integrity, kindness, respect, and fairness at all times. I don't tolerate people to act in discord with these values when they're working with me. I think this really establishes a group culture that is aligned and able to work through various obstacles and issues effectively together. I'm not perfect. I don't pretend to be. So I really work with encouraging collaboration and new ideas. I am really excited about working with people and getting the best out of them and coaching them and seeing how they can, really progress. And then ultimately, of course, important decisions need to be made by me. They're not, consensus kind of, decisions. But what is really important is then the communication. So whether or not people agree with the decisions, they should understand them and they should respect them. And I've just found this approach to be most effective in engaging people and inspiring collaboration and good work.
Great, Suzanne. Well, it seems that you're a democratic, participative leadership, or you have those styles. And actually, it seems like most people on this call have that style or see themselves having that leadership style, as we can see here from the poll, that they see it as the most effective leadership style. It's 75%. So very interesting. So as we talk about the importance of authenticity a lot here in our eChapter, how important is authenticity to you? And share the impact you feel it has on the leadership journey. Suzanne, we'll go back to you.
Sure. Authenticity is incredibly important to me. I think, really what authenticity means is that you are the same to yourself as the self that you present to the world. And when you present something different to the world as who you are, first of all, it's not a comfortable place to be. And secondly, I don't think that people will really follow you. And then from a leadership perspective, you have to kind of fall back on your title or your role. And while some people might follow you because you have the position title, the authority, they're not going to really be believing in you, and they're not going to be really following you. So it's something that, again, I think is incredibly important.
Roxanne?
Yeah, piggybacking off of what Suzanne just said, I mean, personally, authenticity is really the lifeblood and heart of what I think we should be doing in our work every day. When it comes down to it, people know if you're not genuine. Whether you are an entrepreneur or if you're in the corporate world, you have to be authentic in your personal brand. I mentioned personal brand before. Pretty much, others that you partner with need to know, like, and trust you. And, it just really has a major impact on one's leadership journey. I would encourage you to be yourself. The easiest thing to do is just to be yourself. Weaving personal style into this, authenticity can be really represented or augmented as well by your own style. Your style speaks volumes about you and can help convey the message that you're trying to deliver. And through, you can leverage style to kind of show your true authenticity and definitely stand out from the crowd.
Thank you, Roxanne, for that. Kylie?
I think authenticity is extremely important because you want to be able to genuinely connect with your group, or in my case, my staff members. It's something very big to me. You want to be able to lead with your heart and not always with your mind, and be empathetic when you're communicating with your staff. Like I previously said, I want people to really enjoy working with me and not feel like they're just going to work. I want them to enjoy being an employee of mine because I treat them, genuinely. I feel like a lot of people are scared of their bosses, and they feel like they can't be honest and open up sometimes. And I really encourage them to reach out to me to, tell me anything, whether it's professional or personal. I studied psychology in college, so I'll be somebody's therapist if I need to. But I want my staff to be able to have that connection with me as a leader and know that it's genuine. And I feel like it helps them feel more at ease when they're working with me.
Absolutely, Kylie. Good point. And we know that authentic leaders can build really strong support systems around them and teams. Let's just talk a little bit about compromising your authenticity, especially if you're in a role that doesn't fit to who you are and your values and your passion. So, Suzanne, do you have an experience of that you'd like to share, or just some thoughts about this?
Yeah, I've definitely worked for people that I did not respect as much, that I did not think were great leaders, that held values that were different than mine, and that's a really difficult spot to be in. And I would say that I just, again, always held to my personal values, and whether or not they were kind of pushing that, a different kind of agenda out, I never went against who I am and what I believe, and I would focus on my area of influence, and I would work to, try to change that and really explore why it was important to act in a different way. And then ultimately, I think, there's some situations that then you need to get out of. If they are completely, away from your core values and how you approach life and work and things that are really important to you, it's never going to be a good situation. You're never going to thrive, and it's not a comfortable situation. So I would say there's a lot of different things to do to help while you're in it, and then it's making the decision of when it's time to move on.
That's right. That's right. Roxanne, do you have anything to share? Personal story here?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, gosh, Suzanne, your words just now just kind of took me back. When I was in the corporate world, there were 2 instances where I worked with for companies that really just stifled you. You were not able to be authentic and true to yourself and your values and bring, fresh ideas to the table. And it's just really an unhealthy place to be. And, you carry that home with you. It affects relationships that you have. And if you're in an environment like that, you have to get out. And that's exactly what I did. Authenticity, you should never compromise. Now, I think it's important to note, though, that you have to be open and understanding because different people have different value systems, right? You need to be respectful of that. But if something just does not fit right with you, rather than carry it, for, an extended period of time, do yourself a favor, let go, and be great in something that you want to do and in an environment that you want to be in.
Well, that's right, because obviously in that situation you can't thrive, and you can't thrive as a leader. So it's going to be suffocating. Kylie?
I agree with you all. I think those are great points. I knew that I always wanted to be some type of entrepreneur or leader. And one thing that I always struggled with was promoting myself as a leader. I oftentimes work in silence, and I always felt like if I'm talking about what I'm doing, I'm bragging because I'm very humble. But I've been reading, different blogs. I really encourage everybody to read different blogs on, women bosses. I read a blog called Boss Babe, and they give some perspective on women entrepreneurs and tell you how to promote yourself. So some of the points that I learned were building credibility to make people know that you are the best in your industry, create great content and make sure that it's original to grab your market's attention, make sure that everything's not all about you, and keep others in mind because honestly your audience is the reason why you're in business. Just make sure you're staying ready, make sure you have feedback, and always just remain humble as a leader. You can definitely promote yourself, but people want to know what you do. So that's something I'm still honestly working on is promoting myself in the right type of way without feeling like I'm bragging. But I feel like those steps were very helpful in helping me to be a great leader and talk about it. People need to know.
So that's right. One of the biggest challenges that we all deal with is understanding our own self-awareness, being in touch with ourselves. And that actually, I think, is a big debilitator in becoming a stronger leader if you are not self-aware. Because if you're not, then you can't empower others. Roxanne, do you have anything to add here about self-awareness and being able to understand what that really means?
Sure. I mean, you really, it's like peeling back an onion. I would leverage, and, I know this is Suzanne's expertise, but in the past, I worked with a coach. I was at a point in my life where I was stuck, and I needed help to become self-aware. There's just so many layers of life that we just carry with us, from day to day to day, that you just really sometimes lose a sense of yourself. And it is, so helpful to kind of get somebody on board that can listen, that can understand, that can empathize, and help give you some clarity. So I know for some people, and I think once you learn that, you can't unlearn it, which is a good thing. But for some people that really that do need, that extra hand, I think that it's really a great thing to do for yourself because you can't progress if you don't really know and understand who you are and what you stand for and what you want to give to other people.
Exactly. Suzanne, I mean, you're a coach, a professional coach, lots of experience. I mean, some of the tools that you use for people to enable them to be in touch with self-awareness, even if it's just the way that they're presenting themselves, standing in a room, what they're saying. I mean, there's a multitude of things.
Yeah, it is critical. I do really almost a mini course on personal brand, and it's so important to understand what your strengths are, what your skills are, and particularly for women. So what Kylie said really resonates with me because women are not taught to brag. I mean, we're generally, I think, a little bit more humble. Men brag all the time. You go to a party and the man can't wait to say everything that he's doing, right? So women have to learn that it's not about bragging so much. It's about really understanding what your value is, what your skills are, what your experience, and being able to then promote yourself in a very honest, authentic way, not in a bragging way. Then, hey, this is what I, do. This is what I can, accomplish, and, really believe in it. So it's really important to have the self-awareness aspect of it to be able to, really move forward and promote yourself.
Wonderful, Suzanne. Thank you for that. So, Kylie, I'm going to start with you with this question. Share with us some tangible techniques and takeaways that the attendees can implement in their own environment and enhance their leadership presence.
That was actually one of my tips that I did say. I think that it's very important to promote yourself as a leader and also just be very confident in what you're doing because it's important for people to see that you're confident and it honestly makes them trust you more. And also I really think that people need to make sure that you're doing your research in your area. If you want to be the CEO of a company, make sure that you know what a CEO does. If you want to work in the fashion industry, learn the ins and outs of everybody, all the greats in fashion. So it's very important to do your research in your industry, read books, read blogs, read as much as you can, and just make sure that you're trying to be the best at what you're doing.
Thanks, Kylie. Suzanne?
Yeah. So I have a couple of different tips here. I think, one is to definitely, echoing on that personal brand, understand and be able to promote yourself. Part of that is also to really be visible and prepared. So a lot of women in corporate America, particularly women, tend to not go to meetings. They're so busy and trying to get everything done and, oh, this meeting is important or I can send someone else to go to it or whatever. And they're missing what one of the points of the meeting is. Sometimes it's not just to talk about that specific topic. It's about to actually, be, a leader and be able to, handle that and do that. I think another tip is to really identify and volunteer for stretch projects. So to think about what is going to really help you learn and grow and, really push yourself into doing some of these stretch projects that, will be able to both, demonstrate your willingness to really step up and, learn new things and do new things and, just really demonstrate that leadership quality.
Wonderful. Great tips. Roxanne?
Yeah, so bringing, your image and presence and style into this perspective, what you really need to know and understand is that, and this is human nature, people really, they size you up within the first few seconds of meeting you. Actually, Harvard School of Psychology had a study a few years back looking at the amount of time, and it's the first 17 seconds are critical. People are, again, they're sizing you up before you even open your mouth and have the opportunity to share what you want to share. So the takeaway that I have for ladies today is that, you know, when you consider your leadership, remember that your personal brand and your personal style are interrelated, right? So what I challenge you to do is visit your wardrobe and take an objective look of what's in it. And the 4 things that I want you to kind of think about are, you know, do the pieces that you have right now, do they represent your personal brand and what you stand for? Does it tie back to your authenticity? Also, you know, do your clothes help or hinder the message that you're trying to convey? Especially if you're in a position where you do have a lot of influence over a group. They could be subordinates. They could be leadership teams that you may report to. You know, does your image match with what you're saying? And also, do your clothes give you the confidence to allow you to lead and be an influencer within your own network? And finally, you know, does it say what you want it to say about you in those first 17 seconds?
Thank you. Thank you. Well, we ran a poll. You see it right there. And we asked people how they best describe themselves. Decisiveness and ability to make tough decisions, ability to guide others through challenges, focused, all of the above. And 75% almost of the attendees said all of the above. They saw themselves like that. Suzanne, you know, I'm just going to come around to you one more time as the coach here on our call. That we talk about mentoring a lot, and it's certainly something that is very much part of what women want. They want to be either a mentee or a mentor. And so in this role of leadership, I mean, mentoring is not necessarily outside of your team. It's inside with your team. And just explain, as far as being a strong leader, how the mentoring piece impacts that.
Yeah, I think, you know, first of all, it's modeling the right behavior. So it's, again, acting authentically in accordance with your values and really modeling that behavior. And then I think it's taking little opportunities, you know, in every interaction that you have. You see that someone could, you know, use a little bit of help, a little, you know, some tips, some guidance, and being able to, step in. And sometimes it's not necessarily being an official mentor. It's, just noticing after a meeting, hey, you know what, you seemed a little hesitant here, you know, what were your thoughts, you know, can we, maybe we just talk about that a little bit. So I think that's a real responsibility that leaders have. Not everyone does it well, but I think that's a responsibility to really help, you know, guide. Some people are also going to be more receptive than others to be able to take that guidance. And then, you know, sometimes those little opportunities then evolve into a larger relationship, which, by the way, I think is just as important for the mentor as the mentee, because I think you learn a lot about where someone is coming from, about, every time, I coach someone or what have you, it fine-tunes, or it comes up with different ideas of things to, be able to progress and move on from.
Thank you, Suzanne. Well, ladies, just great advice. Just wonderful to have you here today. As usual, it's all we have time for today, and it always goes by so fast. But thank you, and thank you to staff for sharing such great advice today so we can work towards more productive and positive results when it comes to enhancing our leadership journey. But before we wrap up, I do want to share with you the recommended reads from our panelists today. Recommended Women, Work, and the Will to Lead by Sheryl Sandberg. This book speaks specifically to and about women, naming some of the specific issues women face is the first step in addressing them. Sheryl combines personal experience with research to make a compelling case for each of her valuable recommendations. Before Lean In, there were side conversations about many of the issues written about, but after Lean In, the conversations became front and center. Roxanne recommended The 12-Week Year by Brian P. Morgan and Michael Lennington. Roxanne recommended this because as a leader or as someone who wants to enhance their personal leadership skills, it's so important to plan, and of course execute. You need to strategize, set goals, and break them down into reasonable, achievable action items that you can get done. Don't plan a year ahead. So much can happen in that time. Instead, plan in 3-month stints where you can plan, execute, and more importantly, change course if needed. Leveraging this idea has been a game changer for Roxanne and has enabled her to be a leader and a doer. Last but not least, highly recommend 4-Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferriss. This is a book that guides you on how to live the life you've always dreamed by doing what you do, by doing what you love. Their motto is escape 9 till 5 and live anywhere. The book provides you with insight into leaving a 9 to 5 job to live a lifestyle where you can travel anywhere at any time while making a nice income. The author promotes the mobile lifestyle while also giving information on how to successfully reduce your workload into 4 hours per week. Well, thank you, ladies. These are great choices, and thank you again for your professional insight today. Also, thank you to our 1,000-plus women who registered for our event today. And attendees only will be receiving a follow-up list of members at the event today. You can connect again on napw.com and continue to network. If any of our attendees have further questions for our speakers, please feel free to reach out to them. Their information is on today's PowerPoint and will also be listed in the post eChapter email. Also, all NAPW eChapters are recorded and saved on NAPW's eChapter channel on YouTube for you to find and share with your colleagues, friends, and family. Ladies, you will see on your screen now that you can sign up to upcoming NAPW eChapter events. Remember, as I said before, we are hosting reruns of each live event bi-weekly, with every event hosting live networking for all attendees. Also, a quick mention of an upcoming corporate event in Los Angeles hosted by Star Jones and the local chapter, November 15th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the City Club. And finally, ladies, here are 3 things you should do to continue putting your NAPW membership to work. Connect with at least 3 members post eChapter. The attendee list is coming your way post eChapter. Make sure to sign up for the next eChapter and future eChapters. And don't forget to take the post eChapter survey. Your feedback is very important to us and assists us in enhancing your member experience. Thank you, everyone, for another great eChapter event, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.